Hello, I'm Logan,
Hi, I'm Lucas.
and today we're going to be talking about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and whether or not it's a good game, what we originally thought about it, and whether or not, after watching this, if you want to buy it or not. So when I first heard of the Let's Go games, Pikachu and Eevee, I did not like the idea of it. I thought it was going to be crap. I didn't want Pokemon Go.
No, nor did I. Having played both Nintendo Pokemon games and having played the Pokemon Go, I really just didn't get into Pokemon Go as much as I thought I was. So having heard Nintendo were bringing out a Pokemon that was based around Pokemon Go, I was very, very hesitant.
Yeah, me too. The hype was great. When it first came out with the first few weeks, it was fantastic. But then after that, I was like, no, how could you do that? But they did it. And it was really good.
It was really, really fun.
I was quite impressed with it. The idea, especially when you catch a Pokemon, so when you encounter them in the wild, after you catch it, because you haven't damaged it, you can use it in your party straight away.
Yeah. And the next best part, all your Pokemon are carried with you all the time.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to a Pokemon Center, like you did in the old ones, to adjust your party based on where you were.
Yeah, they got rid of the Pokemon box. You don't have to meet Bill. You do transform in all that stuff, but you don't have to then hit up a PC every time you want to swap out your party just on the fly. Oh, I caught this Pokemon. It's cool. I'll use it.
Exactly right.
Which is fantastic.
Another really good point is the most annoying part about playing the original Pokemon was getting anywhere was a mission.
Yes.
Because you just kept encountering the same Pokemon over and over again. Mount Moon was terrifying. Like, it was, you just keep walking into Zubats non-stop.
Zubats 100%. And even if you try to run away, and if you did or didn't, you get supersonic, and that was it. It was game over. Yeah. You were like, oh, I've knocked myself out on a level 10 fucking Zubat. And it was just, it wasn't good. But now, not only can you, you can see the Pokemon in the wild, which is great. It's the first Pokemon game I've played where it actually feels like you're living in a Pokemon world, because you see them in the environment.
They're running around, they're spawning in the grass, and then they actually leave the grass areas and they run around the open area. You can see them, you can avoid them if you want to, and you get to pick which Pokemon you feel like catching.
Exactly. Like, if Pokemon was in real life, you wouldn't just walk around big grass and be like, oh, I ran into a Geodude. Or maybe you would because they're small. But like, oh, I ran into an Onix. I didn't expect that. I thought it was a Zubat. Like, no, you're going to see them.
Yes.
Which is great because you can fill your Pokedex a lot easier, which is good for people who want to play it and complete it. There is that incentive to go through and be able to fill your Pokedex without worrying about 50 Zubats.
Exactly right. And more to that, the trainers as well. They're a lot easier to avoid. They literally do 360s to, check their whole surroundings. So if you time your movements right, you can avoid the trainers as well.
Yeah, I don't like that personally. I really, this is a mixed bag for me, but I don't like the idea that, because I want to fight everyone. I want to get the strongest team I can, and I want to smash everyone. But, if you're like, oh, I'm going to catch a few Pokemon, have a good time, especially for kids, that's fantastic. You just stand in their blind spot, they turn around, and you just walk away, which is good. It is good in that respect. Just not for me personally. That's a personal opinion. The fact that your Pokemon can follow you around, though, is great.
Any Pokemon.
Yeah, anyone you have. It wasn't limited to whatever ones would go on the map and this and that. It's whatever you want.
Yeah. And they all have their own little animation. They help you find hidden items. So it's always a benefit to have a Pokemon following you around. And what isn't cool about having your favorite Pokemon following behind you?
Exactly right. And yeah, so they're useful. It looks really cool. And with the original yellow version, it's going back.
Yeah.
When you'd have Pikachu following you around, if you turn around and you nudged Pikachu, you'd have to then press the D-pad again to walk through him or then move out of the way, which is a bit annoying. These ones will just teleport away. Like magic, like Pokemon magic.
Well, they actually they teleport into their Pokeball and then back out when there's space for them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Fun fact. The more you know.
Yeah. So having played through, it's very, very handy not to ever get stuck with your follow Pokemon getting you trapped in a small space.
Speaking of the Pokemon in the wild, it is really, really cool the fact that not only can you just catch Pokemon, which is cool. I was a bit salty when I found out, like, I'd be playing the game and I'd be like, oh, what? There's not supposed to be a Pidgeotto here. It's only supposed to be Pidgeys until this level. Like, I was getting real butthurt about it. I was a big Pokemaniac nerd about that shit. But not only can you just catch more Pokemon than you normally could, you can also catch Pokemon like legendaries again.
Yes, I had that experience.
You did, you lucky person.
Yes. I was traveling around on Route 4 and a Moltres appeared.
Yeah.
And I was like, fantastic.
Yeah, what other Pokemon game does that?
Yeah.
None.
Caught my second Moltres just in the wild, which is unheard of.
Yeah, no, I've never ever got 2 Moltres unless I had 2 Game Boys or 2 consoles or whatever, and I traded them myself, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so great with 6 Moltres on my team. Yeah, I was a dick.
There's a lot of new features in this game that make it really, really fun to play.
The quick buttons is very handy too.
Yes.
The fact that you can set whatever Pokemon's standing or walking beside you straight away. You have to go in and pick it every time. You can just press plus on your controller, and it'll start, and there you go. The functions have been improved a fair bit. That is another. These are all just pros.
So far, there's nothing really that bad with the game. I mean, if you're a Pokemon fan, you're playing a new Pokemon game, it's fantastic.
The only bad side is if you have, let's say, 2 children, right? And you buy them, let's go Pikachu and let's go Eevee. But you've got one Switch, you'll never be able to trade between each other, which kind of blows.
Yes. So much like the 1995 blue and red versions, you must have both versions.
And 2 consoles.
And 2 consoles to be able to trade to finish your Pokedex.
Which is a given. I mean, it's just, I realised that when I was playing, my fiance was playing it, and I was like, oh, you could trade me that. And I'm like, oh, no, you can't.
So well done, Game Freak. You've doubled your sales there. The another good feature is the rebattling.
Yeah, replayability is very high on this.
Yes.
In the original game, you'd beat the Elite Four, and then after that was it. All you could do was just fight the Elite Four over and over. But
exactly now you can actually, once you've defeated the Elite Four, technically finish the game. But you haven't. There's something called Master Trainers they've brought out. So essentially they're experts in that particular Pokemon, and not just the highest evolution of that Pokemon, every level through. Having said that, you can actually also rebattle the gym leaders.
Yes, which is so cool. It's so nice to go visit. I was so surprised too. So when you fight Brock and he's got his Geodude, his little scrub team of Geodude and Onix, and if you got a Bulbasaur, wrecked. 360 wrecked, no chance. But now when you go revisit him again, he's got sick Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wonder if he does that for like, because he's like, he knows children are starting out their journey. And he's like, oh no, here you go, level 12 Geodude and something. And he's got like a level 60 Onix in his pocket. And he's like, kill him. It's like, no.
No, don't send that one out.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can actually just keep, and not just once, you can rebattle them more than once.
And you don't have to beat the Elite Four to beat them again. Once you beat them, that's it. You have that accessibility.
Exactly right. And by this time, you will actually have unlocked the Mega Evolutions. Spoiler alert.
Which is, I like they included that. That's very nice.
So they have included that from the last games that they've released. Having said that, who doesn't like Mega Evolutions?
Yeah, the fact that you can pick it too. So in X and Y, depending on what, if you're Charizard or whatever, you had to have that Mega Evolution. But when you're playing through this one, you can pick whether it's X or Y, which is a nice touch. You didn't have to do that. But they acknowledged it. They threw it in there. And it was just a nice treat. And fun fact, it's not hard to get the stones after you beat the Elite Four. I had to tell a few of my friends this, but you go back into the plateau, and there's a guy who set up shop, and he just sells you all the stones. So if you finished it, go back there and just buy them all, because it's so cool to be able to Mega Evolve a bunch of
They do
Pokemon.
Cost $30,000 though.
Yeah.
So you've got to have some money.
That's why you ran out of money.
That is why I ran out of money. So yeah, you do have to have a bit of money to buy them all. Or you could just strategically buy the ones that you will use for the Pokemon that you have.
Yeah.
And then just go back later and get the others.
Another good pro for this is the fact that obviously they've remade the same game 28 years later.
Yes.
But they paid homage. They kept the old music and they revamped it. They made it super pimp. It's all HD, 1080, whatever.
Very, very nostalgic.
Yeah, it's so nice to hear the original music actually pimped out. It'd be cool if there was a feature, I know they do have on some games, where you can go back and forwards between the two sounds. Like there are ones I've played of a remaster of Monster Boy, and you can, in the middle of the game, either switch between old and new graphics or old and new sound, which is a nice touch. It would have been cool to hear the old Pokemon music, but I'm not mad at it. They kept it all the same, and it's great. There's no issues with that.
So the biggest difference is the catch mechanics.
Yes, absolutely.
They have definitely brought in
Pokemon
Go. It's exactly the same as Pokemon Go. You actually encounter your wild Pokemon. There's no actual battle involved.
Yes.
It's simply, there's your Pokemon, give it a berry, what have you, and you throw your Pokeball. Obviously based on how well you throw the Pokeball, it will determine whether it's a nice throw, a great throw, or excellent throw.
Yeah, exactly the same once again as Pokemon
Go. Obviously the better the throw, the higher the chances you are of catching it. Which is, I thought initially was going to be an issue, But I actually liked it. I really enjoyed something different.
Yeah, it is a nice change to be able to do that. Like I said before, it is handy to be able to use your Pokemon. But in the same vein, I do like the idea that you can straight away, it is catch mechanics really. You can have a friend jump in at any time, or if like your brother, getting his daughter to play with him, which is very nice. Gets her included. You can both throw Pokeballs at the same time. You can both catch them, and it does make it nice.
It actually, as well, gives you extra bonuses once you've caught the Pokemon.
Yeah. You don't have to turn your hat backwards either, which is really handy if you're not wearing one.
Having said that, so with the catches, of course, the better the throw. If you catch it with the first Pokeball, the more XP you'll get after you've caught that Pokemon. The same goes if you catch the Pokemon more than once.
Yes.
So they've now included what we call catch combos. That means if you catch the same Pokemon 3, 4, 5, 6 times, the more XP you get. That XP then levels up your Pokemon. So it's not a matter of, we don't battle that Pokemon to level our Pokemon up. It's still the same.
Yeah, exactly right. And on that note too of catch combos, this is the easiest Pokemon game for anybody who wants to catch shinies. And not because you can see the Pokemon, that is handy, but the way they've done it behind this is you have to build up your catch combo to a certain number. I think it's 31? 31.
Yeah.
You bust out a lure, and then if you've done everything right, the stars have aligned, you'll see a shiny, and you can catch it. You don't have to wait for that 1 in 3,000 encounter rate for you to see one in the wild and be like, oh my god, it's a shiny!
Having played Pokemon from the very beginning, Gen 1, Pokemon Blue, right up to this very version, I had never ever caught a shiny Pokemon before.
You scrub.
Having said that, in this one, I've encountered 6. I've caught 4 of them, because they do run away a lot quicker than the normal Pokemon, but it is very, very easy. You have as Logan said, if you get 31 catch combo plus a lure, and you're lucky enough to have a shiny appear, it's only a 1 in 275 chance.
Yeah,
which is much better than 5,000.
Yeah, exactly right. And speaking of why this is a good game, and I personally think you should buy it. I like the idea that obviously you see them in real life, you fight them, all that stuff. They've kept the Pokemon to scale. If you see an Onix or a Gyarados, and you're riding a Gyarados, whatever you're doing, they are that size, which is so good.
They're massive. Some of them are enormous. Riding a Gyarados through the water, sitting on its head, you're towering above the islands. It's fantastic.
It's really nice. The first battle too, especially when you fight again Brock, fucking trainer of the episode. When you first fight him and you see how big his Onix is, you're like, oh wow! It's like the anime. It feels like you're living and playing the anime, which is really cool.
Yeah.
All in all, I think it is a good game. Obviously, everyone has their own opinions, but personally, I think it's great.
As do I. I think it's definitely worth a buy, especially if you were on the fence with it, not sure like we were, whether it was going to be good.
I wasn't even on the fence. I thought it was going to be absolute piping hot garbage. I thought it was going to be crap. I was like, I'm not buying this, it's crap. And then I saw my friends play it and I'm like, oh shit, low key, I've got to go buy this.
So I was very, very much on the fence. Wasn't sure whether I was going to like it, especially having known a few facts about the game pre-purchase. Having said that, played through it, loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Beautiful. Well, look, if you like this video, make sure you leave it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We'll have new videos coming out when we make them. And,
of course, let us know what you think in the comments below.
Yeah.
And
what Pokemon would you have follow you around? Personally, I would be Mr. Joey Cool Shorts and have my 1% of Rattata follow me around. For me, nothing beats a Venusaur. Yeah, I like Venusaur. Like playing the game on easy.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks, guys.